Hi, I'm Josh. If you're wondering what the table is and what it does, you're in the right place. Let's take a tour. I'll show you. Let's say my church is called West Fellowship and we're using the table. Here we are on the main page. You'll notice on the left we have three big tabs: My Page, Groups, and Church. Then there's one more tab hanging down on the right called Menu. Those four tabs are pretty much all you really need to know to make your way around the table, so I'll tell you about each of them, all right? Now, the Church tab. The Church tab is what everyone sees right away when they log into the table. Anything you see here can be seen by everyone in the church. Down on the left, you'll see the applications list. Each item on the left is a different application or app you can use, and many of them help you to interact with other people in your church. These are just some examples of the applications you could have installed here. We have a large, constantly expanding directory full of different applications that can be installed by your church's administrators, but these are probably the most popular ones. First up, the prayer wall. This is a place for you to see prayer requests and praises posted by others in your church and pray for them. You can post your own too. It's amazing, and I say that from very real personal experience. Try it. I'll point out two other things here because they're true of several other apps too. First, some applications have this Show Me button. If you click that, you'll see a little video tutorial that goes into deeper detail about how to use that app. Secondly, flagging. You'll see the ability to flag content all around the table. If anyone posts content that isn't appropriate, you can click the flag and make it disappear immediately. An administrator at your church will review it and make decisions about what to do at that point. The calendar has your church's events laid out in either the upcoming view for events that are about to happen or the familiar monthly view. Use this to get a sense of what's happening at your church, RSVP to things you'll attend, and see who else is coming. The discussion board is a place you can use to go in depth on lots of different topics. For instance, your pastor could post questions and ask for responses from the congregation, allowing people to contribute their own ideas and get to know each other through that conversation. The Photos app is a collection of photos and photo albums posted by the members of your church. The photos could be anything from your last youth group outing to a recent baptism service to photos of things happening around the halls of your church. Video Player lets you easily bring collections of videos from YouTube into your table, and it makes it really easy to browse through them and play them. The table also allows you to bring in just about any audio or video podcast, news feed, or blog feed via RSS. You can even play the audio and video in most podcasts directly within the table. That flexibility means you can add custom content to your table without needing to know how to write your own apps. However, if you're a developer, you can write your own apps on top of the table via something called a REST API. Ask your resident geek, they'll explain it. The table isn't just a social web application, it's a platform too. That means it's built from the ground up to expand and change with your needs and with your community. So that's the Church tab and some of our popular apps. Now let's talk about the Groups tab. Most of the things you'll see here look like the Church tab, but there are a few simple differences. First, the Church tab is for things the whole church can see. The Groups tab is much more private. Only people within the group I'm looking at can see the applications and content that are in that group. So even if this group is using the prayer wall just like the one on the Church tab, the prayers on this prayer wall will be totally different. They're only posted by and only seen by the people in this group. When I'm in the Groups tab, I can see all the groups I'm in just below the tab and click on a group's name to go to that group. When I'm in a group, I can see my current group's name here on the left, and I can click on these little icons to send a brief message called a quick note to the whole group, see who's in the group, or quit the group. Below that, all the applications my group is using are listed out. These applications are brought in by this group's administrators. The third tab of our four important tabs is the My Page tab. My Page is a place where I can install whatever applications I like, and they're just seen by me. Not by everyone in my church, not by people in my groups, just me. It's my page on the table. I can bring in whatever news and other apps I like here. Now, the final tab we should cover, the Menu tab. When you click on it, you'll see our drop-down menu. There's a reason we chose to have a menu that drops down rather than sending you to another page. When you're on your Groups and Church tab, you'll occasionally want to see some piece of information quickly without leaving your place. Maybe you want to look at a person's profile or see information about a group at your church. The drop-down menu lets you bring that information down, glance at it, and send it away by clicking the tab again. You never leave your place, and you don't have to load the whole page again. It's simple and it's immediate. You'll love it. Inside the drop-down menu, there are 5 tabs you should know about, listed across the top: Profile, Messages, People, Groups, and Add Apps. The Profile tab, as you'd guess, shows your own profile. Here's me. I'm clearly excited to be here. You can click Edit Profile below your profile photo and add and edit information and change your privacy settings. And you can click Change Pic to upload a new profile photo. The more information you put in here, the more you'll get out of the table, so fill it to the gills. Remember, people have to have an account on your church's table to see this information. It's not open to the whole internet to see. By default, your home address and phone numbers are hidden from the rest of the church, and people you designate as friends can see your phone numbers. But you can customize all of that. The Messages tab is where you can send brief, person-seeking messages to others on your table called Quick Notes. They're delivered according to the recipient's preferences, so they're seen and read sooner, and they're more convenient for everyone. You can also see notifications about what's going on in your church and your groups. They're like little FYI notes from the system. And you can see things like friend requests and invitations to join various groups on the table. The People tab is awesome. It's a living church directory. See everyone in your church in a grid view, or click the map icon to see approximately where everyone lives. We blur these locations a little bit in order to protect everyone's privacy, but you can see a person's general neighborhood. You might be surprised to discover people that attend your church that live just down the street from you. Be sure to drop them a quick note. Quick notes are great for breaking the ice. You can also search the People directory by names, tags, age ranges, and gender. That's one of the many reasons it's important to fill out your profile. No information means a lot less contact and a lot less community. The Groups tab is a group directory that shows the groups on your church's table. Many of these groups have physical counterparts in the real world, but some don't. Some are church official and some aren't. You can search them by name and tags, age range, and gender target. And like People, you can see where they all meet on a map. The Add Apps tab is the last one. This is our app directory. We have pages upon pages of applications to choose from, broken out by category, and you can search for apps by name and keywords too. Installing an app is as simple as clicking on the green plus sign. Since I'm on my page right now, it'll install there right at the top. If I was an administrator of a group or my church, I would install apps there in pretty much the same way. If I want to move an app I've installed, I just click and drag it and drop it where I want it to go. Easy. So that's an overview of the table. The best way to learn more about the table and remember the things you've just seen is to jump in and play around. Have fun.
Now it's time to customize the group. So if I click the Customize button, and you can see the group is created now, Men's Bible Study was just added. Customize is going to bring down the group admin screen. And I'll show you how to get to that in just a moment here. So right now I'm on my Men's Bible Study. If I'm on my runners group, that admin tab does not exist. When I click on Men's Bible Study, because I'm a leader of the group, I'm the technically we call it the group owner. That admin tab exists. So if I click admin, it lets me edit the group, the profile, the meeting info, preferences, privacy. Lets me click on members list and see who are all the members. In this case, I'm the only member. I can invite people, and then I can go in and do content approval. Let me jump for a second. Content approval, you have to go to the edit group button down to preferences, and I can turn on the content approval. What this means is that people that post content on that group site, like a prayer request or a discussion thread or a photo, it would have to get approved before it's actually posted. So I'm going to leave that off because the group members, I believe, are going to post content that would be just great to share. So The next step, the group is created and you know where the admin tab exists. Just showing you here the men's Bible study, the picture exists right here. I can click this note to send a message to everybody in my group. So that's what that button does. It'll let me send a message to the entire men's Bible study. I can click this button here to see who are my group members. And it shows me all the group members, which in this case is only me, because I just created the group. And then the last one is to quit the group, which it actually won't let me quit the group because I started the group and I'm the only member, so it won't let me quit right now. The 4 applications that it gives me are the prayer wall, discussion board, the calendar, and the photo directory. And to give a couple tips in this area, before beginning to invite people to the group, the key is to begin customizing the content. So I think about, are you going to use it to pray, use the table and your men's Bible study to pray for one another? If that's the case, go ahead and post the first couple prayer requests. Are you going to use it as a discussion board to be discussing topics throughout the week when your group isn't meeting? If so, post the first couple topics. Same would go for calendar or photos. If you're not going to share photos with your group, the best thing to do is to delete that application. And you can always add it back, but it's better to delete it than to leave an application with no content. The last step to customizing is the Add Apps button. As I look at the group app directory, it lets me add things like a video player or a podcast, or it would let me add back the photo app. There's also the ability to browse the apps by what kind of tools do we have, so we can share files with the Dropbox. We can look at the communication type tools. Men's interest might be of interest. So things like this, the Prodigal Magazine and Men's Christian Magazine, or some other things that might make sense for men's ministry. I can look at news type applications or music. And without going into too much details, you can add applications to your page to customize it for your group. So you're going to want to customize the content and add those things like prayer requests and discussion threads before you start inviting your members. The last step is to invite your members. So if you hit the admin tab and invite people, all you need to do is you can invite people from the church community by typing in their name. If I'm looking for Bob Johnson, or if I'm looking for, I probably wouldn't be inviting Susie because it's a guys group. I'm looking for John Camp. I can type like that, or I can add email addresses and invite people that way. And the address book lets you add email addresses via your address book. At that point, that's really it for a high-level group leader overview. Thanks for listening.